Hey everybody, Crystal Gamer here, and welcome to my channel where I typically put out at least 2 or more Sims related videos a week, and where today we are looking at not 1, not 2, but 3 houses in one video. This is the first time I have ever done 3 houses in a single video. At least I believe it is. I don't recall ever doing this before. But this is in celebration of the new Tiny Living pack that is coming out, or tribute to, celebration to, whatever you want to call it. And what I thought I would do is a couple of small houses, and I think our maximum house size with the new pack to use the new lot type with the new pack, I think is going to be 100 tiles. Now, I'm not fully versed in everything because I've been out of Sim stuff for a little while with the holiday break and all that, and I've started to get back into things, but I'm also actually very busy outside of the channel, so I haven't been keeping up with all the news about the pack. So if I'm wrong about the 100 tiles, I apologize. I don't know all the specifics, but I think 100 tiles is the maximum. So what I decided to do was 3 different houses. I've got one at 32 tiles, one at 64, one at 100 tiles. And this first one is the small one. It's the 32 tile house. And I did it so that it was just the house tiles and also counted the porch tiles, because I think porch tiles count towards the tiles with the lot type. Again, I'm not 100%, but I think that they may count towards the lot type, towards the maximum amount of tiles for the lot type. Hopefully you guys know what I mean, because I'm kind of screwing up what I'm saying, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. And so what I ended up doing, because I believe porch tiles count, is I used stairway landings to sort of add porch space that was non-existent. So that was kind of like my cheater way. And to make this house in particular, the 32 tile house, look a little bit bigger, I made the front into sort of this larger porch area where I turn the stairs and everything, and I raised the house up a little bit just to make it look a little bit larger. Now it's on a larger lot, but I left the backyard a little bit smaller because I feel like that's what would be in line with the house, you know? And then on the second one is totally different because it is an island home, number 1, and I love the Sulani pack. Love the Sulani pack. It's probably one of my favorite packs in the game. I love everything that comes with it. It's just an outstanding pack in my opinion. And I love island homes. And so I did the 64 tile one in this island home style. And again, I raised it up to try and make it look a little bit larger than it is. And the other thing I did to try to create kind of the illusion of size was I used wide stairways. So in the front, I believe I end up with a 3 tile wide stairway, and in the back it's 4 or 5 tile wide. The stairway is. So yeah, I use these wide stairways and raise the house up just to sort of create the illusion that the house is bigger than it is. And interior wise, it is a little bit bigger. We've got a little bit more bedroom space. The bathroom in this versus the first one, the bathroom in this has a sink with a counter space, whereas the first one, the only sink in that little tiny one is in the kitchen, and the bathroom is just the shower stall and the toilet, because that was kind of all I had room for. When you only have 32 tiles, you have to make some sacrifices, you know? But on this one here, I had room to fit everything in, and I think it's pretty well equipped. The kitchen is even a decent size. The living room's not bad. It includes a computer desk, so I figure if I can get a computer desk in anywhere, I'm doing pretty well. And it's got all the necessities. It's got your TV, it's got your radio, all that stuff. Plus, this one has this huge outdoor space in the back. I didn't enclose it. I didn't do a fence or anything, but I did do a natural barrier around this huge patio thing that I put in the back, and I used the big fire pit that comes with the Island Living pack with the Sulani pack. And so, yeah, I love this one quite a bit. And hopefully you guys like it too. You can let me know. I'm interested, once we go through and we look at all 3 houses, I'm interested to know what you guys think down in the comments as far as which is your favorite. Do you like house 1 the best, the smallest one, the mid-size one, or the large one the best? Because they're all very different stylistically. They're totally different houses, different settings. The first one I have right now in, where did I put it? It might just be in Newcrest right now, but the first one, I think, to me, it can go in Newcrest, Willow Creek, probably Windenburg pretty comfortably. You might even be able to put it in Brindleton Bay pretty comfortably. So it can be in a few different locations. This one here is obviously it's more meant for Sulani. It's definitely more meant for the island area. You might be able to make it look decent in Oasis Springs, maybe. But it's very, very islandy, for certain, very islandy. And then the last one is the 100 tile one, and I did it in such a way, I created the front in such a way that to me it's super deceiving, and that's what I was going for. I actually wanted it to be really deceiving. So the front of the house has this big grand entry, and I created this 2-story thing, and I did it without using floor tiles. So the second story on the 2-story entrance is actually just open walls, and it backs up to the roof. So it doesn't actually use tiles, so it doesn't go against the 100 tile count, which was good. So I actually think I ended up with 4 extra tiles in this house though. In other words, I think it's actually 96 tiles that I used for this house, not 100. I can't remember if I used those. I know I had 4 square tiles left. I can't remember if I ended up using them or not. I could maybe extend the porch out a little bit if I have 4 tiles left. That's something that I could do. That could be an idea. But I wanted this house to be symmetric. I definitely wanted it to be symmetric, and I wanted it to give that illusion again of being larger than it was. So I create this really grand front thing and make it look much bigger than it is. But when you get in the interior of this, you can kind of tell it's not a huge house. It is still a single bedroom, 1 bathroom, little living room, kitchen area. But because I wanted a symmetrical home for this, I was sort of stuck with the floor plan I had on both sides. And that meant that I had this one alcove that I could use for a bathroom, and it ended up being a very nice bathroom because it was a pretty large alcove. I suppose I could have taken some of it for the master bedroom, but I decided to go with the extra space in the bathroom, and I kind of spruced up the bathroom in this place. So it's got a jetted tub, it's got 2 sinks, so it's nicer by far than the bathrooms in the other 2 houses. And this one has a pretty good kitchen size, but all 3 I ended up with one of those single tables with just the 2 chairs. So none of them ended up with large tables. And I guess it's maybe a little bit unfortunate. I kind of would have liked a larger table in this one in particular, but I tried it and I would have had to have given up some kitchen cabinet space, and I didn't want to do that. So I decided to go with the smaller table and more kitchen cabinet space. So, when you're dealing with size constraints, you have to kind of make some sacrifices here and there and make some decisions on where you want to use the space, where you want to give the few extra luxuries and where maybe you want to make some sacrifices. And in this case, they got a little bit more luxury in the bathroom and maybe slightly less luxury in the kitchen than I would have liked as far as space luxury and maybe having a bigger table there, but it's still all good. And then this house got an in-ground pool, and as I was building the in-ground pool with it, I was kind of wondering, I'm looking at the pool and I'm saying, I really hope these don't count as tiles when we get the tiny living pack. So fingers crossed that they don't count as tiles in the pack, because that would be kind of lousy, because then you couldn't do a pool for any tiny home. And I don't know, to me, especially if it's a home like this where it's 100 tiles, yes, it's still small on the inside, but you see how grand it looks. Like, I mean, it totally looks like it can have a pool, and a pool makes perfect sense with it, I think. So yeah, I hope that pools do not count as room space, because that would not be good. I would actually request for them to change that if that's the case. So I have my fingers crossed that pools do not count as room space. And I did use a pool here, and I did a natural divider rather than a fence divider on this one as well. So just like the last one, I did natural divider in the yard rather than fence, and I went with that here too. And oh, by the way, if you're interested in these homes, they are going to be on the gallery, and this one here is a little bit expensive, especially considering the size. It is a smaller home. It's a little bit expensive. It comes in at over $70,000. But if your sim can't afford it, just get rid of most of the landscaping and they'll be able to, especially the rocks out front. Instead of using the debug rocks, I used the regular rocks, and they're super pricey. So, but nonetheless, these will all be on the gallery under Crystal Gamer 1. And thank you so much for spending the time with me today. We are coming to the end, so I have to say goodbye, and I do appreciate y'all hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Hit that little like button, and I do hope to see y'all back again next time. Bye now.